So Shakespeare 400 is a consortium of 25 of London's leading cultural organisations, which we at King's College London have organised and facilitated. And it's marking, along with all the things happening around the country and around the world, it's marking 400 years since Shakespeare's death, but it's celebrating 4 centuries of Shakespeare's astonishing impact on creative and cultural life. So one of the factors that led us at King's to create Shakespeare 400 and to celebrate the quarter centenary and to be involved in facilitating that is a legacy of our own, which is 100 years ago in 1916 for the Shakespeare tercentenary. It was a professor of English at King's called Israel, later Sir Israel Gollancz, who was the leading light in the various committees that were seeking to mark 300 years of Shakespeare. Now, 1916 was, of course, a very difficult year, so what happened was quite low-key. But one of the things that Gollancz was involved in was a book called A Book of Homage to Shakespeare, which featured contributions from right round the world. And what you see in that book is what you might call the origins of global Shakespeare, the point at which Shakespeare starts to cease being a British playwright or an imperial playwright and starts to become a world playwright.
Shakespeare's influence is difficult to assess in some ways because it's been so varied and it's happened across so many different cultures, different contexts, different performance genres, different art forms of various kinds. So if you look to theatre, you can see various kinds of influence, most obviously when people still perform and have his plays reworked, perform them in different styles and different languages. And there's a sense to which Shakespeare is part of a global culture.
London remains a hub of Shakespearean activity. We've worked with Shakespeare's Globe Theatre for the last 15 years, running a master's degree together with them, and they are a key partner in Shakespeare 400 now. And going to see plays at the Globe, going to see any of the Royal Shakespeare Company's plays that come to London, all of this gives a sense of the sheer vibrancy of Shakespearean creativity, both in London and right around the world.
So when we put together the exhibition, we were very excited to include Shakespeare's will, but we also wanted to put it alongside documents which showed other aspects of Shakespeare's life in London. So we have a document concerning the tearing down of the playhouse called the Theatre and the removal of the timbers, which were then used in constructing the Globe a few months later. We have the Bell at Mountjoy case, in which Shakespeare was a witness, which related to a marriage that took place within the household in which he was a lodger. We have records of the red cloth that were given to Shakespeare and his fellow actors for the coronation processions. So you can really see Shakespeare's interactions, not just with his own family and with Stratford-on-Avon, but with these major institutions of the theatre industry, the law courts, the royal court.
One of the major events for us this year is the World Shakespeare Congress is coming to both Stratford and London. So something like 700-800 of the world Shakespeare scholars will be here celebrating Shakespeare and debating the issues that come out of Shakespeare studies right now at this moment.
Shakespeare's works underline various kinds of artistic experiments. So when people want to write a State of the Nation play, for example, when people want to write history plays, the Shakespearean model is one that they often go back to. And we can trace kind of Shakespearean heritage in various kinds of cinematic genres as well.
The truth of Shakespeare now is that his appeal and the recreations of Shakespeare are no longer limited to the Anglophone world, and certainly not just to Britain. Shakespeare is alive and well right around the world, and some of the most exciting reimaginings of Shakespeare, recreations of Shakespeare, happen a long way from where I'm sitting right now in London.